Welcome to The Game is the Teacher, the podcast where athletes, coaches, and leaders share the lessons sports have taught them both on and off the field. Every episode, we uncover the impact of athletics and ask one question. What does The Game is the Teacher mean to you? Let's dive in.
Welcome to another podcast, another opportunity to speak to you guys. I'm very honored to speak to Dr. HAIRAN Yu, Doctor of Medicine and Acupuncture and Asian Medicine, correct?
Yeah.
So how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. Well, thank you for giving us the opportunity to be here with you today. It's definitely an honor. I wasn't too keen about needles in my body and the impact that that would have in my body, right? But having been treated by you, I became a believer, and this is one of the reasons why I'm here. So then you could share this with our audience, and also how you could tell us a little bit about yourself, where you started. I know that you, and I don't want to get ahead of you, but I know that you will talk to us about your journey in athletics and how sports taught you major lessons and that have brought you here today. So.
Okay. Thank you for inviting me into your podcast. And I think we have a connection. And that's why we're having this co-creation today. So I think your topic is the game.
The name of our podcast is the game is the teacher. I'm so sorry.
Yes, because in my belief system, I do believe this reality is a game.
Okay.
So everyone is choosing their game and try to have as much fun as possible.
And you could also, like when we have this title, right? And this is, I'm glad that you're pointing this out, because we could always replace the game by the life is the teacher, our experience is the teacher, our journey is the teacher. So I'm glad that you're able to talk about that.
Yeah, because I like to be like a player, like a gamer.
Okay.
Be in reality.
Yeah.
And it's like hacking the reality,
Wow.
hacking the system, hacking the body. And our body is like a black box.
Uh-huh.
And all the doctors, everyone in the world is trying to figure out how it works and why it is like acting in certain ways. Wow. So my journey is like doing the same thing. And I had a good time like trying to figure out how the body works and trying to press different buttons, trying to do like on and off switches and see how the body reacts.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your journey. Where are you from?
So I'm originally from China.
Okay.
And I had my bachelor degree in Ohio State.
Ohio.
In Ohio. So I was a Buckeye and I major in finance. So I used to be in business major.
Oh, wow.
So out of nowhere, there's like nothing much to do, just party or sports in Ohio.
Okay.
So either football or working out. So I chose working out.
Wow.
So I used to work out a lot in college, and then I became one of the most popular fitness influencer in China.
Oh, wow.
But after years of hard work and hard training, I used to train like 300 days out of a year. And then I had sciatica. So that stopped me from training. I competed twice in NPC, men's physique.
Yes.
I won like 2 third place.
Yeah.
So that was like my previous game.
Yes.
So I already met my goal. So I already feel like I'm done with that game because I have to stop as life is teaching me, it's time to move to something else.
Yeah.
So I tried different healing modalities, tried to fix my own pain.
Yes.
But I tried physical therapy, I tried chiropractic, I tried acupuncture, I tried massage, tuina, everything.
Yeah.
All those methods works, but it only lasts for a certain period of time.
Yeah.
So I was wondering like how I can help myself and I'm just figuring out like the experience of my training, like the healers, the doctors might not understand.
Yes.
So it's like my own lesson. Nobody else can take away my own lesson until I learn the lesson. So I just dive into like learning anatomy, physiology, and all kinds of like those adjustment techniques, like stretching, massage, everything. That's what put me on track of
Oh, wow.
the healing journey.
Wow, that's so cool.
So, like at one point, I have to kind of choose: do I still want to be an influencer in fitness and keep training and still having the pain, or do I want to choose a different path, like searching for the cure for healing? So I chose the second one. So I decided to come back to America. I was in China for a few years.
Okay.
And then I decided to come back to States and study acupuncture and physical therapy.
Nice.
So it took me about like a year. I was taking 8 classes in acupuncture school and 3 classes in community college to fulfill the prerequisite for physical therapy, because it's like a very competitive program.
Yes.
So I have to take all those chemistry, biology, physics, those things in community college.
Yeah.
But after studying acupuncture and the prerequisite for a year, like I had my spiritual awakening.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I understand why God put me on the path to do the healing. And then I figured out like acupuncture is my
Your calling.
is my calling.
Oh, wow.
So I just like let go of the community college and the physical therapy program. But during the studying journey, I was able to meet a lot of physical therapists.
Yes.
And I studied NKT, neurokinetic therapy
Okay.
technique, which is like a way to do muscle testing and then to find like a very precise connection between the target muscle and the on and off switch.
Okay.
So I had that experience, and then I incorporate it in my acupuncture practice. So that's like my testing journey.
Wow.
So I don't use traditional acupuncture technique because for that, like, it's like a mystery. And I don't like mystery. I like something more certain. I like to make something more clear, more obvious.
Something tangible, right?
Something
Yeah,
tangible.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, right now, acupuncture is covered in most insurance.
Yes.
So it means that the system is accepting acupuncture as a alternative healing modality. But it's still like not like a mainstream thing, because based on the uncertainty and the mystery of this medicine.
Yeah.
But with different like ways of testing and the fast feedback from the patients, actually I'm learning from the patients. So I'm doing so many test drive in daily treatments. I'm trying to build up my own data, raw data, by putting like, if I put one needle, how much pain did that person get relieved?
Okay.
So for example, if I put one needle, that person is able to raise their arm for like 90% more range of motion.
Yes.
So this is how I try to figure things out.
So it sounds like you're thinking outside the box from the traditional acupuncture approach, right? Like,
Yep.
It's very interesting, that you mentioned that in the traditional acupuncture approach is everything's a mystery, because a lot of the times, because I remember going to an acupuncturist long time ago, but then, when asking questions, they were like very, not secretive, but they reserved on the feedback or the stuff that they were doing to my body. But I see that, your approach is very different.
Yeah, because Chinese medicine is just like Western medicine. They have their secret code.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because Western medicine, they use like those certain vocabularies that you don't understand.
Yeah.
That's like sounds mysterious. But, I got a definition. I got like a diagnose. So Chinese medicine also have this kind of encoded secret that the doctor understands what it means. But if I tell you your kidney is weak, you'll be like, oh, what happened to my kidney?
Yes.
But the kidney weak it may mean that this pathway, this meridian, or this muscle chain have some dysfunction. It might not be your kidney. It might be like you have cold hands and feet. It might be like your source energy is kind of deficient. Like you feel tired, you have frequent urination. It's like a combination of a symptom group.
Got it.
So this is like the Chinese medicine doctors trying to categorize people in different sections. Just like oh, you have arthritis. Oh, you have diabetes. The diabetes means that you have like certain different symptoms.
Yes.
Right. So it's kind of the same, but I'm trying to do things in a different way.
So what I'm hearing from you, Doc, is that you're looking at this from a holistic point of view,
Yes.
right? Where you're not just focusing on one thing, but then you're focusing on the entire body.
The whole picture.
Yeah, you're seeing the whole picture.
I'm trying to see the whole picture in a holistic way,
Yes.
but in a more Western scientific
approach.
testing approach.
Okay. Got it.
So I'm trying to build like the interconnection between like A and B. So if I press this A button, the B light will flip.
Definitely.
So that's like I did like so many tests, like thousands of tests, and it's becoming more clear.
Wow, so cool. So let me backtrack a little bit. So then you were into Ohio. You're a Buckeye, the Ohio University.
Yeah.
And so then, what was it like? What was it like coming from China and into the U.S. and picking, trying to assimilate into American culture, especially in Ohio?
So I grew up in a very special family because my dad used to study English in China.
Oh, okay.
So he had an English bachelor degree in China, which is not normal.
Yeah.
So I was born in a bilingual
Nice
environment.
Yes.
So my father has the Western way of life.
Yeah.
And my mother is like very into the society. Like she's awesome. So I kind of grew up in the conflicts, the culture conflicts.
A culture clash per se, yeah? Per se?
Culture, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like Western and Eastern part like always fighting against each other in myself.
Yeah.
So I'm just like a normal Chinese student who study a lot, who spend most of the time in school just like studying. Until after like I finished my high school. I didn't do well in the exam for the college.
Yeah.
So I ended up like studying the SAT and TOEFL in like 3 or 4 months.
Okay.
And then I got accepted in Ohio State. So the first day when I came to America, I feel like I'm home. This is like my place.
Cool.
I'm like the fish in the ocean.
Yes.
I can swim. I can breathe. I can just be myself.
Yeah.
So I have no trouble like getting used to the American lifestyle.
Yes.
And the big difference is in America, like nobody will tell you what to do.
Exactly.
Like you have to figure out what time you have to go to school.
Yes.
What you need to, when you need to finish your homework, when to take the test. But in China, like you're being told what to do. So that's like a big difference.
So those are the perks, right? And then of being in a free society per se,
Yeah.
right? Where you're coming, your background or your roots, right? Someone always has to tell you what to do. But then those are sometimes, at least, in my perspective, that I was born in El Salvador, and when I came here, it was the same issue, right? Where all this freedom, and a lot of the times when it's hard for people to assimilate to those things, and you lose track of where you are, and then you lose focus. So then I'm glad. So can you tell us a little bit more about how were you able to keep focus as you were going on your journey?
So it's like I'm already used to being told what to do.
Okay.
So when you suddenly got the freedom that you are not used to, you kind of like want to explore everything.
Yes.
So that I was like partying a lot the first year.
Okay.
With like those seniors.
Yeah.
I was drinking a lot and like having some fun. But after that, like I was feeling like I need to change my lifestyle. I need to do something.
Yes.
I need to develop my like masculine energy.
Yeah.
So I applied for the ROTC because we have the ROTC.
Yes.
But they sent me a letter that you're not a citizen and you're not a permanent resident.
Yes.
So we can't accept you.
Exactly.
So I was figuring out maybe I can train myself in the gym so that I can still have the masculine and the self-discipline. So
Okay.
that's when I start to train.
Okay.
And
And that led you into bodybuilding. What was your goal for, besides having the structure and having the discipline or maintaining the discipline that you had grown up with, that you seemed that you were lacking? So then that was like refocusing on your journey, right?
So the original force is very, I think it's what's the most drive for most people, which is trying to be more sexy.
Oh, okay.
Because I used to be skinny, and
Okay.
I'm Asian, and
Okay.
this is
Breaking
just,
the stereotypes. per
yeah.
se. Okay.
There's a stereotype.
Okay.
So I was trying to make myself more bulky, more
Okay.
more masculine,
Okay.
and also have the self discipline
Okay.
that
Yeah.
that's like inside and external. But like after years, I figured out like that part, it came from a lack, like inner lack.
Yes.
I feel like I'm not enough. I'm
Exactly.
not masculine enough. I'm not strong enough. I'm not sexy enough. So
Okay.
it's like a lack driven thing.
Okay.
But
And
so
where do you think that was coming from? You know.
I think it's just like it's like the way the society works.
Okay. Yes.
I'm
Definitely.
I was just not the alpha
Yeah.
type.
Okay.
Right. So when I'm like in America, like people try to build their ego, try to be competitive.
Yes.
Right. So that's like my entry level. Like probably I can date more pretty girls.
Okay.
That was like a very original
Yeah.
drive, and
Yeah.
that put me into like being an influencer, put me there, like train harder,
Okay.
be more aggressive, until like I got shut down by God, by the universe.
Okay.
And then I kind of have to figure out like why I was doing this, because I was not happy, because if I miss a meal, I would be frustrated. I would feel like I'll lose the muscle.
Okay.
If I eat like a burger, I will feel like, am I gonna gain some body fat? So it's like a very sympathetic mode, like nervous, like feeling that I may lose everything. It's like fear-based lifestyle.
Yes.
So during the acupuncture journey and my spiritual awakening, I just stopped working out like completely. I lost like 30 pounds in 3 months, and I rebuilt the whole structure. It was like it was like my biggest challenge. I was depressed for a while.
Oh wow.
So because everything, like the fundamental part of the foundation,
Yes.
is like fear-based belief.
Yeah.
So I gradually turn it into like love-based belief.
Nice.
I love myself more. I'm not as bulky. I'm not as shred as before, but I love myself more, and I'm happier than before.
And that in itself is a journey, right? That
Yes.
we all go through, I
Yeah.
believe. And
Yeah.
some people actually see that light, other people don't. And then, they live their whole life trying to look for that moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
That aha moment. But I don't want to get too much ahead, but tell us about, share with us, when you were an influencer, what was your, you said you were an influencer in China. Did you have a lot of followers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had, altogether, I had like 1 million followers.
1 million followers. Wow. Wow. And what was your content? What type of content were you sharing?
It's just like basic life. I never knew that I would become like an influencer. I just
Wow.
posted like my training and
Yes.
my lifestyle, and just went like that.
Well, so it was an everyday thing, hey, today I'm working out on this type of muscle, my upper body, my lower body, biceps, whatever, legs. And so then you could just start picking up. And then were you one of those influencers that were very keen on feedback, or like, did you, how did you react, or how were you able to take in, if you were, looking at the comments that people were leaving
at
for
first, like, because when I was playing social media, it was
Yes.
just like the start of the fitness in China.
Yes.
So that's why I was able to ride the wave.
Yes. Okay.
And at first, I just like share my daily life, and then I make good friends. Like it's like a community. So we encourage each other. We like help each other.
Yes.
We give each other like encouragement.
Yes.
But after when we have more followers, the ego grows with the followers. We have
Yes.
more ego. People become more egoistic, and when the business starts to grow, when it's connected with money, people become more selfish. People become competitors
Yes.
instead of like training partners. So that's like what get me like feeling, oh, this is not what I want, because I don't want to compete with each other, because like bodybuilding is like a self journey. It's like building yourself. It's
Yes.
not, you can't, it's like the aesthetic part is subjective.
Yes.
There's
very
very subjective.
Yes.
So some people can think that you have a big bicep that looks great, but some people that think that you have too big a bicep.
Yeah.
So you can easily get affected by people's feedback. And I lost my inner peace. I have to kind of like think twice that what I'm gonna post, right? And when I post something that's against other people's belief system, they start to attack you. So I got like cyber bullied before.
Oh wow.
So that's when I feel like, oh, I can't even be myself. I can't even express my own feeling and own my belief, and people will just like disrespect it.
And that, you know, it makes it really hard because there's a lot of trolls out there who,
Yeah.
you know, they're 1,000 miles away and they could just, you know, comment on the post.
Yeah.
And, you know, where before, you know, when I was growing up, hey, if you had some issues with someone, you tell that person. But now with social media, you know, like I said, trolls out there, you know, just would say and do something that, one of the biggest things that I saw or I'm able to, you know, witness, especially with young ones, with kids now, is that a lot of the times all that hate comes because they want something that you have that they wish they had.
Yeah.
So then they're hating on those things that they, you know. So what would be one of the your advice to the audience, to you know, our youngsters who are listening to this podcast, as far as, you know, keeping your focus on what you want and not allowing the hate to influence you?
So I'm glad that I didn't give up my own belief.
Yes.
And I try my best to be authentic as possible, because I think that's the only way that we connect with our soul or with God.
Yes.
As it's actually very hard to hold on to that, not to be affected by other people, not to care about other people, but that's a mental training. So I shifted from my physical training, physical body training, into a mental training. It's like building weight on not giving a fuck of what other people think.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, definitely.
So it's like at first when you focus on the external part, like some people do cosmetic surgery, some
Yes.
people use steroids, they want bigger muscles,
Yes.
they want leaner shape, but this can get affected by other people's feedback because we are trying to get other people's approval.
Yeah.
It's depending on other people's response. But when we get there, haters will still be there. Like God once told me that if like 100 people likes you, but there's one people that hates you, will you still do it?
And you know, and that comes down to human nature, right? Because a lot of the times, like you said, I think it's a really good example that you may have 100 followers, 99 are cheering for you, and that one that's hating or you know, it's hating pretty much. Our mental state, a lot of times as human beings, we will not focus on the 99, but we'll focus on that one negative person.
Exactly.
And so then it comes down. So one of the things that I'm hearing you say to our audience is the fact that focus on yourself, learn to love yourself first, right?
Yep.
And so then that could move you forward from shielding you somewhat from haters.
Yeah, because I was like strong in a external way.
Yes.
But I was fragile inside because I don't want people to hate me. I feel frustrated when people like try to attack me or threaten me, right?
Yes.
But that's when I start to realize, oh, my heart is not strong enough. I'm not able to handle this kind of negative energy. I was like giving up the 99% of the love
Yes.
for the 1% hate.
Yes.
They are getting into me. I admit that. But throughout the years, I learned not to care that much.
Developing that mental fortitude, right?
Yes.
Yes.
It's like I have to push weight with my mental every day to be strong and to learn how to show love even though I'm getting those attacks.
Okay.
So that's like a spiritual training. And the spiritual muscle can be strengthened too.
Okay. And how do you do that? So what has been your experience in getting that spiritual strength?
I think my best training is trying to be authentic as myself. So being authentic, sometimes it may go against like social rules, social standard. People may hate you for being yourself. They may call you selfish, but the selfish, like ish, is like love. It's like self-love. But people will accuse you for loving yourself because they can't take advantage of you anymore.
Okay. Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
that's like when I start to love myself more, and it actually takes training. So I had this training in my master program. So because food is very important to me.
Okay.
So I need to eat so that I have enough energy so I can do things. So sometimes I get late to class because I have to finish my dinner. So I intentionally be late into class, and at first like teachers are upset, but until like several times they know like, oh, I'm just having dinner. I'm not trying to be disrespectful.
Yes.
Because life happens, right? So the teachers get used to when I'm late. It becomes like a normal. So I'm just the bad student that's always late. So I'm just like training myself not to care about what other people think, even though that people may hate me.
Especially teachers, if you're coming in late, now your grade might be affected, or because again, grading is also subjective a lot of the times. Yeah.
So I did like have like a negative impact on my classmates.
Yes.
So my girlfriend and my classmates starting to get late to class, but I started to be on time on class.
Oh wow. Okay.
Because like my mental power is stronger, so I can like keep my time on track better.
Okay.
And when I have my dinner, I can do things. So it's like when I go to class on time, the teachers start to say good things about it, which is like it's your job to be on time, right?
Yes, exactly.
But they're like excited, and they're like, "Oh, Alan's not late." And when other students, when they're late, the teacher would be like, "See, Alan's already here. Why are you guys late?"
Yeah. So now, yeah.
So the self-love, selfish training, at first, it may cause other people to feel discomfort, like you're having your own boundary and like you're not listening to other people, you're breaking all kinds of rules.
Yeah.
But once like I built up this much of love, then I have the ability to love other people, to learn to respect other people, to respect the time.
Yes.
So there's like certain period that people think that I'm not polite. I'm not on time. Like I'm just like very selfish. I'm egoistic. But after that, I gradually like build up my energy, and now I have more strength and I can stretch more to
that makes sense.
To love people and accept people.
So let me backtrack a little bit. So during your bodybuilding time, right? You said that you mentioned that you were training 350 days out of 360 the whole year, or what was your regimen like?
Like at least like 6 days a week.
Wow.
Yeah, and average is like 1 hour 30 minutes to 2 hours of weight training and cardio too.
And then you were influencing. You mentioned you had 1 million followers. Back in China.
Yeah.
And do you still do some of the? Are you how have you continued with your being an influencer in a different area? Especially now with your practice?
So bodybuilding became like my tag. A lot of people know me because I was in the fitness. I was like a bodybuilder.
Yes.
But I didn't want that tag.
Okay.
So I completely drop off.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was like because I was kind of traumatized by the cyberbully too, because I feel like the environment is not healthy for me anymore.
Yes.
And what people are chasing is different from what I want. Like I want inner peace. I like money, fame. Like it's like I already experienced it.
Yes.
But it's not what I want.
Okay.
So I just try to be peaceful in myself and then play my own game. Yeah, that's my approach.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So then now you were in Ohio. You went to you were a Buckeye. How did you end up here in California?
So at first, my plan was to become a doctor of physical therapist.
Okay.
But I had great experience when I was in Ohio with acupuncture. And at first, like I was calculating the finance part. Like
Yes.
I think the doctor was doing, the acupuncture was doing really good,
Yeah.
and she can make good money. And I thought, oh, probably I can try to do acupuncture.
Okay.
So I was like trying to do do acupuncture before I go into physical therapy
Yes.
school. But somehow God just planned this, and then I found my best path. And the school is much cheaper.
Okay. Yeah.
And the system is more fun because the Chinese medicine have thousands of years, like 3,000, 4,000 years of history.
Yes.
It's just not like scientific, but it works. So what I'm trying to do is like trying to make it as more precise as possible so that we can have like a expected outcome with like a very limited input.
That's so awesome because one of the things that being one of your patients, anytime I come here, you see people from all walks of life and coming with different ailments, if you want to call it that. And so then one of the biggest things that I've seen, impactful things that I've seen, is the fact that when people come in with some sort of pain or an ailment, you see them come in, and then the times that I witnessed people, as soon as they're done with their treatment, they could swear that they sense a change in their bodies and their spirit, and even their energy is much different, right?
Yeah.
Because can you tell us a little bit about the impact that you're having with patients, or a specific patient that without names, but can you tell us?
So in my opinion, the pain is just like a signal.
Okay.
So it's like the body is flashing a red light. It's telling you something is wrong. It's like beeping. Beep, 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 beep. But you feel it. Otherwise, if you don't feel the pain, you don't know there's a threat. So in my opinion, the pain is our friend. It's not our enemy. It's like trying to tell you something, teach you something.
Yeah.
But we are like so against of pain. We just want to take the pills. We just want something magic that the pain's gone.
Yes.
Some of the treatment is like to sever the nerve, to block the nerve, and you don't feel the pain anymore. But it doesn't mean that the problem is solved. It's just like taking off the signal light
Yes.
and not worrying about like if there's a fire in the house.
Yes.
So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to listen. I'm trying to listen what the body is trying to tell me, what the soul is trying to tell me, what that person is trying to tell me. Because my healing approach is a little bit different from traditional, as like the Western way or the most traditional way, like they use brain to analyze.
Yes.
It's like there's like a formula. You just go into the book and check what might be the possible response, and then you try to test drive and see what works. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to be as egoless as possible. It's like I'm a channel, and this is the way that God taught me how to do the healing properly. So I just like clear myself, empty my mind. I already had the professional training to make sure I don't hurt the person, hurt the patient.
Yeah.
That's like my goal. Like it's okay not to be able to help the patients, or not to be able to relieve the problem, to solve the problem, but not to hurt them is my priority. Safety is always my priority.
Okay.
So when I like empty myself and try to listen to be the channel, information, energy comes through me. So sometimes when I walk into the room, I kind of already sense what's going on. I just tell them what I'm reading, what I'm sensing, and it kind of like just like match on what they're experiencing right now. So that gave me the trust with the patient, like instantaneous.
It creates that connection, right?
It's about the connection. It's about like, am I able to tap into your energy field? Am I able to empathize like what you're experiencing? It's not like, oh, you go into the room and then I'm the doctor and then I'm egoistic and I know what's going on. I don't know.
Yes.
Like I put myself in the mindset that I don't know every time. How long do I need to heal? I don't know. What's cause of the problem? I don't know. I have to read. I have to listen. I have to try to tap into what the body is trying to.
In order to diagnose what's going on.
In order to diagnose.
Yeah.
And so our clinic, all the first treatment is free because I want to build like a stress-free environment. I don't want the patient to worry about like how much is my copay? Exactly. How much do I have to pay for it today? Is it going to work or not? Like, I don't need to worry about money. I'm spending money to give you the experience, right? And the patient can have like a stress-free.
And it's interesting that you're saying that because, Marco and I were having a conversation on the way here, that with that saying, scare money doesn't make money, right? Mm-hmm. But a lot of the times when we're doing things from the bottom of our heart and we want to help people and things open up, it's almost like going back to the whole, the game, right? When, I'm a soccer coach and a lot of the times I tell my parents, I said, hey, development, we have to focus on developing your kids. The wins will come, but the wins will come as development gets better and as your kids get, develop into better players, develop into understanding concepts of soccer, baseball, basketball, whatever it may be. So then I'm also hearing that, you also have the same approach where patient comes in, you want that whole experience to be stress-free, right? So then you could welcome that and make them understand that there will be a solution and for them to experiment that. Because I was shocked when I first came into your clinic and you I wasn't worried about a copay, and you said, look, this is, we're going to try this and you tell me how your experience and then we'll go from there. And so then my experience coming in and I came in with some knee pain and all of a sudden I'm like, wait a minute, this guy is doing some wonders here. So then it allowed me to test that out. Right. And then as we continue and I continue coming, there's different things that you have been focusing on in my body that when every time I walk out of here, I'm like, wow, there's actually some healing going on, and I'm able to cope with not only pain but then my own spiritual healing per se, because those are some of the conversations that we have. So I see that you combine, you're doing this combination of ancient Asian medicine into this holistic Western approach, and it's so evident, and I'm sure that you have a lot of patients that come in with the same mindset, trying something that you're doing, and they're leaving. I mean, can you tell us a little bit about? I know today when we were setting up for this podcast, you had a patient that was just in awe about how you were able to help them.
So that's like there's like a privacy
yes,
issue.
Yeah, definitely, yes.
But the mother and the kid were so happy.
Yes,
they went through the healing for like 5 months. They've done all the tests.
Yes,
they've done physical therapy. They've done MRI. They've done all those things. It's not working.
Yes.
So I just try to find where the blockage or what the body be trying to tell us.
Yes.
And then once I put some stickers with micro needle on it, which is like painless.
Wow.
And then the kid was able to walk again. So
That's
the
awesome.
mother was like, she was crying.
Wow. That's so cool.
She's trying to get the healing so eagerly, but I think this is just the right time.
That's so cool. So cool. And so then you also have been able to work with professional athletes.
Yeah.
So basketball players, soccer players, and they come in. And
and also bodybuilders, because I think like for someone to understand another person, you kind of have to share similar experience. Otherwise, like you'll never know how the problem came. So I did like a lot of training, so I know like how the body moves.
Yes.
And why there's like certain problems that's causing those things.
Yes.
So it's like I used to be an athlete, and then I'm a healer now.
Okay.
So it kind of like I speak the same language.
Exactly.
And then like right now I've just started to learn golf.
Okay.
And then I was like figuring out like how to play golf properly, and I realized like when there are blockages in the body, the range of motion is just limited.
Oh wow. Okay.
No matter how hard you try to do a movement, like you can't get there. Like the more you train it, like they're actually training on a compensational pattern.
Okay. Yeah.
It's like the joint is locked.
Yes.
So
all their muscles are compensating for that.
All the muscle is compensating
for
on a
the
locked joint.
Yes.
So if you unlock the joint, then you don't need to train to kind of have the normal function and normal mobility.
Yes.
So just like
you have a higher free range of motion.
Yes.
Per se,
it's
right?
like the muscle is not functional. It's not like activated like right away. So once I clear the blockages for some of the professional golfers,
yes,
they just have better range of motion. And they just like play 10 more yards.
So all
further.
golfers out there, this is actually, wow, I'm intrigued by what doctor's saying, the fact that there's a lot of blockages, right? And then the compensation when as it relates to bodies, parts of our body compensating for the other parts that are not fully functional, right? And then how addressing that the blockage per se allows the body to just be able to open up and then create even a better athlete per se.
Yeah, when I talk to those professional athletes, they're like, I understand it, but I can't do it. It's like there's a disassociation from the brain and the physical body function.
Yes.
So actually, it can be super simple. It could be like a scar on a knee that's like 10 years ago or when they were 5. They won't even know it. But like my doctor program paper, I've focused on scar tissue. So there are barely research on scars, but I treated like thousands of scars. And they always give me like magical.
That's so awesome.
Yeah. So the scars are like scar tissue. They're like less elastic.
Yes.
And less mobile. So it affects how the fascia works.
Yeah.
It can inhibit the muscle function. It can trap the nerves. It can trap the veins. So once we are able to put needle and kind of open up that scar tissue a little bit and reset the neurofeedback, the body restore its normal function. So I'm not healing the patients. The healing is within ourselves. I just like try to read where's the trash, where's the blockage. When there's like a car accident on the highway, do you change the whole highway, or you just like pick out the car that's blocking the flow?
Traffic. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So imagine like if there's like a car accident that hasn't been dealt with for 10 years.
Yeah.
It will create like a detour.
Yes.
Right? But once there's too much traffic, like accident that's been there for a long time, you never deal with it, then the whole highway can be blocked off.
That's a good way to see it.
The whole system can be slow down. Everywhere will have like a car jam. But if you just like simply take out the oldest car accident, the first thing that causes all the compensation to happen, the body just reset. It's just like doing what it's supposed to do. So I focus a lot on scars that's over 10 years.
Okay.
And it's giving like the patient like miracle feedback. Like when some people, they had like surgeries, they had like an injury for over 20 years, 30 years. Once I put the needle there, the pain went away.
Okay.
There are a lot of patients that had like chronic pain for like over 10 years and walk out like free of pain. And
is that a long-lasting effect?
Yes.
Or it's a short term?
Let's say if it's a healthy muscle, but it's been overused, and then we treat that muscle, it's like you're treating a compensation pattern.
So it goes back to the original comment that you made that, the parts of your body or muscles are compensating for something else that's not working.
Yes. It's like there's a traffic jam.
Yes, exactly.
And the police is trying to guide those cars somewhere else. Go somewhere else. Go somewhere else.
Yes.
And when the pain happens, it's like the city is not able to handle this kind of car flow. So instead of like sending more police into local street and guiding people around,
yes,
I prefer to find out what's causing the original problem. And most of the time, it's the scar tissue because scar is like visible.
Yes,
like people know it does affect the body,
yes,
but nobody it's like right in front of us. But people are not like really looking into how it's affecting our system.
Got it. Got it. So see, Marco, I know that Marco, when he plays soccer, he had an issue with his sciatica. And this is one of the reasons why he stopped playing. So we still have a chance to get you back 100%.
Yeah, that's why some professional golf players, they have the best technique. They have the best training.
Yes.
But after a car accident,
Yes.
or after surgery,
Yes.
their performance just dropped, and they don't understand why. They try to train harder, but they don't get there. It can simply because like one scar, one injury,
Yes.
like inhibit the muscle function,
Yes.
inhibit the energy flow, so that they have like a locked joint.
Yes.
They have a locked hip, then they won't have the perfect swing. But if we are able to read the body and try to figure out where's the blockage,
Yes.
where's the light switch, we just flip it, and then it unlocks itself immediately.
Got it. Oh, that's awesome.
And it applies to all kinds of sports, because injury is like inevitable
Yeah.
in any training.
And it's so interesting that, going back to everything that you shared with us so far, right? That your experience as an athlete, as a bodybuilder, understanding the body, having those connections with your clients or your patients, right? Do allow you to look at things from outside the box and approach them, have a different approach.
Yeah.
So let me ask you. So what is that game? What is, when you hear that the game is the teacher? What is that? What does that resonate? How does that resonate with you in your journey from being in China, coming here, assimilating into American culture, right? Going through the process of being an influencer, being a bodybuilder, and changing directions per se in your life. How does that resonate with you?
So when I hear this thing, like I knew like I have to do this podcast with you, because this is like aligning with my belief system.
Okay.
First time I talked to God, he told me that we are here to experience. We are here to experience the taste of the food, the texture of the gentle skin.
Okay.
We are here to experience different things that we never experienced. We are here to play. So it's like a playground. But as my Chinese background, we were so serious about life. It's about finding a good job, buying a big house, buying fancy cars, and make my parents look good.
Okay.
So it's like get like a generational karmic pattern like
Yes.
imprinted on you. You have to live like a certain way and expectation.
Yes.
But from God's perspective, like, I think I become more free. I have more free will. And I got to decide like what game I want to play. And God is always encouraging me to go with my highest excitement. Instead of like, you have to do certain things. You have to make so much money.
Yes.
You have to make your parents proud.
Yeah.
But by walking on God's path, like every day what I do is I just do things that make me feel excited.
That's so cool. That's so really cool.
Yeah, so like right now, acupuncture and healing people and spreading God's message is my excitement. Because like people have such a great feedback.
Yeah.
Life is changing, not because of me. It's because like how God like connects people and fix things, and how like I gotta see the bigger picture now, instead of focusing on the like some problem, some pain. It's not about the pain. It's about the experience. I would prefer like to give people free treatments and then be friends with them like forever.
Yeah.
And like they just start to worry less. Some people they already accepted, I'm gonna have this pain like forever.
Yes.
I can't play golf anymore. I can't play soccer anymore. But in like maybe 2-3 treatments, they're able to play again.
Definitely.
So it's about playing the game. That's like how we connect with the universe, how we connect with God better.
That's so awesome.
By bringing back, like awakening the inner child in us to be able to play as a father again.
Cool. That's awesome. And I know that you love traveling.
Yeah.
And so you just love experiencing. Really quick, can you tell us about one of your journeys in the world that has impacted you so much that you were able to bring that back into your practice?
So we've been traveling a lot because
And when you say you
me and my wife,
your wife, okay.
me and my wife,
who is also a acupuncturist.
she's an acupuncturist too.
Okay.
She's we are like teachers to each other.
Okay, that's awesome.
And I was traveling a lot to those energy spots, those vortex, those
Yes.
chakra off the earth. Like the root chakra is the Mount Shasta, which is in North California. It gives me a very grounding experience. And my favorite vortex in America is Sedona.
Okay.
So that's where I got all those messages, all those downloads.
Yeah.
Like God told me to open a clinic, and I was like, I just graduated. How can I do it? Would
Wow.
people believe me?
Yeah.
But God just told me, like, open a clinic. And then I go back the second time. I told God, I don't know how to open a clinic. And then God showed me the blueprint, show me the whole business structure, how I should set my mind, how I should do free treatments to people and build connection and do healing properly.
Exactly.
So without God, like, I can't do it.
That's
It's
awesome.
like I'm just over 30 and I just graduated from school for like 4 years. And how am I supposed to give people the healing? Like a human is not supposed to heal another human. It's like the creator is able to heal the created. So I'm just trying to be the channel and experience
Exactly.
how God work miracle through me. So that's why it excites me the most, because every day, every week, I'm using different techniques.
That's
I'm putting
awesome.
needles in different places.
That's awesome.
Like I get bored for putting needles in the same place.
Okay.
Because if it is the root problem, if you clear it, it's not supposed to be there.
Exactly.
If I clean the trash is gone. Is in the trash can.
Yes.
Why would I continue
Go back,
back
yes.
and continue to do the same thing? It means that I didn't find the root problem.
Exactly. Also, that brings that brings a sense of confidence and belief in what you're doing, and just having that trust that you're the vehicle per se, right? In that this greater being is using you to heal every patient that comes through, and that's one of the things that has been the most impactful for me as I'm getting to know you better and listening to you, because I really want our listeners to catch on to that, because a lot of the times you go into different entities, the medical, and a lot of the times they keep the same approach, and instead of seeing things from a holistic point of view, they just try to focus on one little thing where, yes, you might be fixing something, you might be putting a band-aid, but then what are you doing in order to heal the whole body? So thank you for that. So thank you for that. How can tell us a little bit about your clinic, your Aya. Can you tell us where did that concept come from?
So there are several meanings behind the Aya. First, my English name is Alan. So Alan Yu Acupuncture.
Oh,
That's
wow.
one of the short. And ayahuasca is one of the main reason, because I had the most profound experience with ayahuasca before, and then it helped me accelerate my awakening process. I'm able to experience the unconditional love from God. And I kind of built like a stronger connection within me.
It's cool.
And that's like my life before. It's like my life before ayahuasca and my life after ayahuasca.
Wow.
I'm not encouraging
Yeah.
anyone to do it, because it's like a very personal experience.
Yes.
And it could cause like problems. Like some people go crazy after ayahuasca.
Yeah.
So this is just my personal reason why I call it. It's like in honor of the spirit.
Okay.
Because I do believe that there is a higher being.
Yes.
And there like the universal healing power that's flowing through everything. I don't heal. Everyone heal themselves.
That's so cool.
It's like returning. It's like a reminder
Yeah.
of returning the healing, returning the strength to the patients to the person.
That's so cool.
The ultimate healing is like everyone find their own inner connection.
That's so cool. And how many clinics do you have now?
So we do have 2 clinics, one in Alhambra, one in Beverly Hills.
Okay.
So
how can our listeners come see you if they live on the west side? Where is your clinic on the west?
So just search the Aya Acupuncture, AYA Acupuncture, and you'll just find it.
You have a website?
Yes.
That they could,
Yeah, so just Google it.
Okay, cool.
They'll be able to.
I just want to make sure that you give a nice shout out so then people are able to find you. And then if people who live on the east side of the San Gabriel Valley, you're on, what is this? Garfield?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So I think another thing I would like to share is like the energy, the intention of this clinic.
Okay.
It's like holding a space for people to heal themselves. So our Beverly Hills clinic, our first treatment is free to everyone.
Okay.
We take all the insurance, even though most of the insurance, they pay like way less beyond like the true value.
Yes.
But, some insurance do know how to respect the acupuncturist.
Yes.
And so we take most insurance.
Okay.
We want to lower the pressure, financial pressure to everyone that I meet.
Cool.
And for people without insurance, we do donation-based treatment.
Oh, wow. That's so awesome.
Yeah. So it's kind of crazy because people, like patients come into the clinic and they know our business structure.
Yes.
And especially we are in Beverly Hills, we pay a very expensive rent.
Yes.
And then we are doing like the opposite of what most people are doing. Like the average cost in Beverly Hills for acupuncture would be around $200 to $300 for the first treatment.
Wow.
Following up would be
and
average.
You're doing it free.
Yeah.
Wow. That's so cool.
So I believe that God usually do things like the opposite way of what most people tend to do, like in an ego way.
And that shows a lot of your focus on helping people.
Yes.
I really think that goes a long way.
Because I do believe that people have different financial situations.
Yes.
Some people, they pay $20, but maybe they only have like $20 in their pocket.
Yes.
Some people, they pay $200, $300, and they're very wealthy and they're willing to support us for what we do.
Yes.
So I think like healing supposed to come back to the results and the experience.
So awesome.
Because if a healing process, a treatment is not like helping people or even hurting people, why would they charge so much money? Patients are losing their money, wasting their time, and not having the outcome that they really need.
Wow, that's so cool. That speaks volumes of the type of work that you're doing here.
Yeah, so I do this like I really want to just focus on the patient instead of the money, and let God deal with the financial part, and then I just be the perfect channel, so that people can have like a transitional experience.
That's so cool.
Through Aya.
That's so awesome.
That's our intention.
That is so awesome. That is so great. Just to finalize our conversation, any advice or how can people? We already talked about they could Google you. They could the based. I'm just in awe just to find out how you're open to serving everyone, whether it's a person who can afford it or someone who cannot. And the whole donation-based approach, I think it speaks volumes. And so definitely, I want to commend you for that. I really think that what you're doing for the human race per se, right, or our society, it goes a long way, and it takes a lot of courage. It takes thinking outside the box, a different approach, and the fact that you're combining ancient Chinese healing into this new society, right? Mm-hmm. It speaks volumes. I mean, like I said, I'm in awe, and usually I don't find myself, finding those words, but I'm really thankful for everything that you do. And so then, thank you for taking the time. I know that you're very busy, and So, just thank you for being a beacon in this community, a beacon for the Chinese community, and also for us who are non-Asians who are believing and becoming believers in this approach that you're having, and it's making an impact. So thank you for that.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you. So again, right? Thanks to for listening to the game is the teacher, where experiences are the lesson, and the game is always the best teacher. If you enjoy this episode, be sure to subscribe and also be able to listen to our next podcast. So thank you, Doctor, for taking the time.
Thank you.